Dubai's Golden Mirage, a $30 billion pipeline. An astonishing sum of gold flows into the United Arab Emirates from Africa each year. Estimates suggest over 400 tons valued at approximately $30 billion arrive through clandestine channels. This vast quantity of precious metal often begins its journey in conflict-ridden or poorly regulated mining areas across the African continent. At Dubai International Airport, large sums of cash can be discreetly exchanged for gold, highlighting the ease of these transactions. Dubai has meticulously cultivated its image as a global center for gold. This reputation, however, masks a darker reality of illicit trade and gold laundering. The emirate hosts more than 20 sophisticated gold refineries and is home to over 7,000 gold trading businesses. This extensive infrastructure serves to absorb and process gold from questionable origins. The sheer volume of gold passing through Dubai, much of it untraceable, underscores its pivotal role in a shadowy international market. This system allows illicitly sourced gold to seamlessly enter the legitimate global supply chain, a critical service for those dealing in conflict minerals. The case of Sudan, where gold has been exchanged for weapons, serves as a stark example of how Dubai's gold market can intersect with and exacerbate brutal conflicts. From desert souk to global gold hub, Dubai's meteoric rise. Dubai's association with gold is not a recent development. The city has hosted a vibrant gold souk since the early 1900s. However, the scale of its gold trade underwent a dramatic transformation following the discovery of oil in the 1970s. Visionary leadership sought to diversify the economy beyond oil, identifying gold as a key sector for growth. The UAE government implemented a 0% tariff on gold imports. This masterstroke made Dubai an exceptionally attractive destination for importing, refining, and trading gold. The absence of import duties combined with state-of-the-art infrastructure and a business-friendly environment allowed Dubai to rapidly capture a significant share of the international gold trade. The volume of gold now handled by Dubai is staggering. The emirate imports over 1,000 tons of gold annually. Approximately two-thirds of this gold originates from African countries, many of which struggle with governance and regulatory oversight in their mining sectors. Despite lacking significant gold mines of its own, Dubai stands as one of the world's largest dealers in gold. The Smuggler's Path. African gold's illicit journey to the Emirates. The methods employed to smuggle gold from Africa to Dubai are often surprisingly rudimentary, yet highly effective. A common tactic involves individuals carrying gold in their hand luggage on regular commercial flights. These couriers, often posing as ordinary travelers, can transport significant quantities of gold in a single trip. Corruption and inadequate controls at both ends of the journey are critical enablers of this illicit trade. In many African countries, poorly paid officials can be bribed to look the other way as gold is exported without proper documentation or payment of taxes. Upon arrival in Dubai, import checks for gold can also be surprisingly lax, especially for hand-carried consignments. This systemic weakness allows vast quantities of unrecorded gold to enter Dubai, feeding its refineries and markets with a steady stream of untraceable metal. The rise of artisanal and small-scale mining, or ASM, across Africa has inadvertently contributed to the smuggling problem. Armed groups and illicit traders frequently exploit these miners, purchasing gold at low prices and then smuggling it out of the country, with Dubai being a prime destination for this unregulated output. Sudan's agony: how gold fuels conflict and empowers militias. Sudan's significant reliance on gold as a primary national resource intensified dramatically after the secession of South Sudan in 2011. Faced with this sudden and severe economic shock, the Sudanese government turned its focus towards exploiting the country's substantial gold deposits. The inability to engage mainstream international mining corporations led the former Sudanese leader, Omar al-Bashir, to adopt alternative strategies for gold extraction. He distributed lucrative, often heavily subsidized mining concessions to powerful figures within his regime. One of the most significant beneficiaries of this system was Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, more commonly known as Hemeti. Hemeti and his forces gained control over key gold mining areas, most notably the lucrative Jebel Amr mine in North Darfur. The substantial revenues generated from gold production were instrumental in expanding the RSF's numbers, purchasing sophisticated weaponry, and consolidating Hemeti's immense political and economic power. Even before the current war erupted in April 2023, a substantial flow of gold was moving from Sudan to Dubai. Official records for 2022 show the UAE imported 39 tons of gold directly from Sudan, valued at around $2 billion. The Kremlin's Shadow Wagner Group and the Sudanese gold rush. Russia has maintained a long-standing role as a key military supplier to Sudan, providing arms and training for decades. Around 2014, the Wagner Group, a Russian private military company with close ties to the Kremlin, began to establish its presence in Sudan. Wagner's operatives were not only involved in security provision, but also became deeply enmeshed in Sudan's burgeoning gold sector. Their activities included helping to secure mining operations controlled by allies of the Sudanese regime and facilitating the smuggling of gold out of the country. Wagner's involvement in Sudan's gold trade intensified significantly as Russia began preparing for its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Anticipating the impact of Western sanctions, Moscow sought to bolster its gold reserves, and Sudan became a key source. Wagner's operations were critical in this effort, ensuring a steady flow of Sudanese gold towards Russia, often through indirect routes. The collaboration between elements within the Sudanese military establishment and Wagner operatives was essential for the success of these operations, bypassing formal state channels. Whispers of war: the UAE's alleged hand in Sudan's turmoil. The period leading up to the devastating conflict that engulfed Sudan in April 2023 was marked by significant diplomatic and economic maneuvers involving the United Arab Emirates. Just 5 months before the war's outbreak, the UAE signed a major deal with Sudan to build a new $6 billion port on the Red Sea coast. Concurrently, in March 2023, Hemeti, leader of the RSF, held high-level meetings in Abu Dhabi with Emirati ruler Mohammed bin Zayed and Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Mansour. On April 15, 2023, the simmering tensions between the Sudanese armed forces and Hemeti's rapid support forces exploded into open warfare. By this critical juncture, intelligence reports and trade analysis suggested that nearly all gold leaving Sudan, both through official and unofficial channels, was flowing directly to Dubai. As the war intensified, serious allegations began to surface regarding the UAE's role in arming the RSF. Libyan officials claimed that the UAE was supplying weapons to the RSF through Libyan proxies. These shipments were reportedly flown from Libyan airports to the Central African Republic and then transported overland into Sudan's Darfur region, an RSF stronghold. The UAE has consistently denied these allegations, maintaining that its involvement in Sudan is purely humanitarian and that it supports de-escalation and dialogue. A nation bleeding: the human catastrophe of Sudan's gold war. The war in Sudan, fueled in part by the struggle for control over gold resources, has inflicted an almost unimaginable human toll on the civilian population. Since the conflict erupted in April 2023, conservative estimates indicate that over 15,000 civilians have been killed. The violence has also triggered a massive displacement crisis, with more than 10 million people forced to flee their homes. Many are internally displaced, living in squalid conditions with little access to aid, while others have sought refuge in neighboring countries. The United Nations has described the situation in Sudan as a humanitarian nightmare of epic proportions. According to UN agencies, a staggering 26 million people, which constitutes roughly half of Sudan's entire population, are currently at risk of acute hunger. Basic services such as healthcare, water, and sanitation have collapsed in many areas affected by the fighting. Despite this catastrophic humanitarian crisis, Sudan continues to be a significant exporter of gold. Cracks in the system: sanctions, loopholes, and global indifference. In response to the ongoing atrocities and the clear links between gold and the financing of the conflict in Sudan, some international actors have taken limited steps. During 2023 and into early 2024, the United States, the United Kingdom, and several European Union countries imposed sanctions on various private companies. Among those targeted was Al Gunaid, a prominent gold mining company based in the UAE and run by Hemeti's brother, Abdelrahim Hamdan Dagalo. The sanctions regime was further extended by the United States. In September 2023, the Biden administration imposed direct sanctions on Hemeti himself, citing the RSF's alleged commission of widespread human rights abuses. These measures aim to restrict Hemedti's access to the international financial system and curtail his ability to profit from the conflict. Despite these efforts, attempts to seek broader international legal accountability have faced significant hurdles. The regulatory environment in key gold trading hubs like Dubai continues to present significant challenges. The unceasing quest gold, geopolitics, and Africa's enduring struggle. The global demand for gold has surged to historic levels in recent years, driven by a confluence of factors. Heightened global economic anxiety, persistent inflation, and the perceived waning influence of traditional reserve currencies like the petrodollar have pushed investors and nations towards tangible assets. Geopolitical instability, particularly in regions like the Middle East, further amplifies gold's appeal as a safe haven asset. Major economies such as China, India, and Russia are actively seeking to reduce their reliance on the US dollar, diversifying their reserves and increasing their holdings of physical gold. Central banks across the world are increasingly viewing gold not just as a commodity but as an independent form of currency. Dubai, despite possessing no gold mines of its own, has firmly established itself as one of the world's foremost dealers in gold. Its strategic location, sophisticated refining infrastructure, and permissive regulatory environment allow it to play a pivotal role in the global gold supply chain. This unique position enables Dubai to absorb gold from diverse sources, including those where extraction methods and supply chains are opaque or linked to conflict. Without robust international oversight, transparent sourcing protocols, and a genuine commitment to ethical trade, Africa's golden bounty risks perpetuating a cycle of exploitation and conflict for generations to come.